Warning: sensitive content.
On Sunday, May 15, 2022, during a work-related phone call with a Supreme Master television team member, our most loving Supreme Master Ching Hai kindly inquired about the team's well-being and comfort, as she also readily gave insights on questions that the members had.
Master, the French President Macron told President Zelensky to give up Ukrainian land to Russia so that Putin is not too humiliated in order to have peace. Is it a good solution, Master?
I don't know, son. Really. Tell you what, if the Ukrainian people agree to that, then I'm also glad. What is a piece of land anyway?
Yes, Master.
It's just that Russia is too bad. I mean, Putin is too bad. He wants one thing, and then he wants another thing, and then another thing. From Crimea until now, he never stopped.
Yes, Master.
Always preparing to snatch some more land. And not just more land. I told you he wanted Ukraine.
That's right.
And now, recently, they just discovered that there is a plan, the documents about President Putin, he wanted Ukraine. Just that they failed with Kiev. But if you give in to them, they will go back again.
Yes, Master.
Oh, I'm telling you. Everybody wants peace, not just Zelensky and the Ukrainian people.
Yes, Master.
Everybody in the world wants peace because it costs too much. Too many human lives and maimed and suffer and disabled people and separated family, everything. And economy and food shortage, everything is bad for humanity.
Yes.
But you see, President Zelensky, he's only a president. He doesn't own Ukraine as private property.
That's right.
So now, even if he wants peace desperately, he cannot go against his people's will, who voted for him.
Understand.
He has to do his people's mandate. Every president or king or queen must.
Yes, Master.
He doesn't own Ukraine. Does Ukraine belong to Zelensky or anybody?
No, it doesn't.
No. And if his people don't mandate him, he cannot. He cannot give any peace even 1 inch away. He has no right to do it.
Yes, Master.
They voted for him because they trusted him to protect their land.
Yes.
How can he give it to Russia, even if he wanted to?
I understand, Master.
Which he doesn't. Because by the way that the Ukrainian people fight to death like that, it's clear like daylight that they don't want Russia.
Yes, Master.
Either the women, children, and the elderly run away to escape death and the brutality of Putin's war, or they stay behind and fight. They did not want to give up, even though they are in danger. They have food shortages and no drink and all that. For example, under the steel plant, the soldiers, there are not many, but they say they will not surrender. They will fight till the end.
Yes, they did.
So how can any, even the powerful president, give up any inch of their land?
Yes, Master.
They will turn against him if he does.
That's right.
Besides, Zelensky is like all of the Ukrainian people. They say they are Ukrainian. They don't surrender.
Yes.
I read also Zelensky said that we will not give any of our land just to save somebody's face.
That's right. Yes, he did.
That's not right, is it?
No, it's not.
What kind of international law is this? That anybody can just come into anybody's country brutally, bombing everywhere, killing anybody in sight, and then demand to have more land. And the international community should agree to that? Macron would support that?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that means encouraging Russia to continue to use brutal atrocities, to continue eating up land around Russia.
Yes, Master.
First of all, they say that because Ukraine wants to join NATO, so Putin sent his army to beat up Ukraine. But Ukraine still did not join NATO, and NATO said, okay, we don't accept Ukraine. Still killing the Ukrainians and want to take the country.
That's right.
No need any reason at all. Any reason, it's just BS, yeah?
Yes, Master.
You can see that very well.
Yes, Master.
And now, Finland, Sweden, he said that because Ukraine used to belong to Russia.
Yes.
But Finland and Sweden have nothing to do with Russia, and they also threaten them. They are in the European Union.
Yes, Master.
It's like threatening the whole European Union, because threatening one member of their family is like threatening the whole family.
Yes, Master.
So this Putin, he just say anything he wants and bully anybody he likes. So how can you support such a person? He is not human.
I understand.
Either he's a madman or he's evil. Even if you don't believe me that he's evil or working for Satan, you can believe that he's a madman.
Yes, Master.
There's no reason. You can't reason with this type of people. And then, how can Macron support Putin and give the excuse like free speech or whatever and air in Russian propaganda on their television?
Yes, Master.
So there's no need to talk anymore. Now you can see, okay?
Yes, Master. Very clear.
Even if President Macron likes Russian President Putin very much, he should know there's only one-way street, because he still threatens France with a real war through his subordinates, through Medvedev. Or maybe he enjoys seeing Putin in person from the other end of a 2-kilometer long table. I guess it's better than nothing.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe. Just very disappointing. France's leader. Oh, man. There's no reason for Putin to bully anybody in any country.
No, not at all.
Just all kinds of rubbish excuses. And now even threatens Finland and Sweden. The more he threatens, the more they will come in. Because of his threat, that's why they come in.
Yes, that's right.
Originally, they didn't think about that.
Yes.
Now, thanks to Putin, that they would join NATO.
He sped them up.
Yeah. Otherwise, they would not even think about it, yeah?
Yes, Master.
Oh, but I don't like it, because Finland and Sweden were so easily welcomed. But Ukraine, no mention.
Yes, Master.
So this is either a kind of discrimination or cowardice. That's what I don't like.
Yes, Master.
And even Finland and Sweden normally want to be neutral, but because of Putin's atrocity in Ukraine now, they wanted to join NATO.
Yes.
And what's that got to do with Putin? And he even threatened them.
Yes, Master.
They are sovereign countries. They have their own independence and their own freedom.
Yes.
I mean, Sweden even has monarchy.
Yes, Master.
It has never belonged to Russia. So what's that got to do with Putin, that he even forbids them to join NATO? They join anywhere they want. They can go to the moon, Mars if they want to.
Yes, Master.
This kind of mentality, how can Macron support it? It's not about the land that you can give away or not give away. It's people who live in it as well.
Yes.
You can't just sell your people to anybody who comes in using brutal force to snatch it.
That's right.
Suppose it happened to France. Would Macron do it?
Of course not.
Oh, he wouldn't. Oh, I hope not.
Well, I hope not, yes.
Who knows, if he's a coward, he would give it just so that he can be safe. It doesn't concern him in France yet, and he's already showing his weakness.
Yes, Master.
That's what I think it is, weakness, or bias.
Yes.
How can you turn your eyes away from the suffering of these gentle and peaceful Ukrainian people? Just only some weeks, and then the country is devastated like that.
Yes, Master.
And people die in tens of thousands and dozens of millions. It's 13 million now, or maybe even more. They lost count, became homeless, became the beggar refugees in other countries.
Yes, Master.
They had their life good. They tended to their farm and were taking care of their family. Life was peaceful until Putin came along.
Yes, Master. And
how can Macron, president of France, even support that kind of brutality of the dictator or the evil, greedy so-called leader like Putin?
Yes, Master.
Even children would hate him. Even I am a so-called spiritual practitioner, but I could not bear it.
Understand.
So what do you think? Do you think he is right?
Of course he's not right, but maybe he's with the devil or something, or is influenced by them to help Putin.
I think so. Most of the world's leaders came to Kyiv already to show support.
Yes.
And to pledge some more financial help or military help.
Yes, Master.
Recently, even many of your American top congressmen, senators, or House top leaders all came to Kyiv to show support.
Yes, Master. That's right.
Oh, man. What kind of president, Macron? I'm so disappointed. I'm so sorry for him as well. How can he make himself into such a degraded status like that?
Yes, Master.
And he didn't even want to go to Kiev. I read that somewhere.
Oh, yes.
He's too big to go. I guess he just won the election and still feel the heat of victory and became arrogant.
Yes, Master.
This is the thing that ancient wisdom is afraid of most. They are afraid most to become the loser if they become arrogant. Because, like in the war, for example, they always warn the soldiers that when they win, they should not become arrogant because then they will lose. So a president could not afford to be arrogant like that.
Yes, Master.
The bigger you are in society, in the world, the more humble you should be. People don't like snobbish men or women, whoever.
No, Master.
Even the lady, the new president of Hungary,
Yes.
she condemned Putin's brutal war in Ukraine. But it's funny. Her prime minister is the opposite. Last time we talked about Orban.
Yes.
Man, I'm so tired of men. Ladies, they have more sense. Like the chief of Europe,
Yes, Master.
Madame von der Leyen,
Yes.
she even went by train. Imagine that. The top leader of the European Union went by train. Simply just went there to Kiev and then handed President Zelensky some protocol, of course, some questionnaires that he can answer so that he can join the EU.
Yes, Master.
Simplified bureaucracy.
Yes.
It will be not as usual a matter of years to form this opinion, but I think a matter of weeks if we work closely together. For you, dear Volodymyr,
Thank you so much.
I want to give you that.
Thank you so much.
This is the question, yeah.
We'll be ready with answers, Ursula, in 1 week.
So, the top leader of any country should be demonstrating humility.
Yes.
Tough but humble. Strong but gentle. Otherwise, you won't last long. Well, anyway, French presidents or any presidents nowadays, they won't last long anyway. They won't continue.
Oh.
Yeah, mostly just 1 term, 2 terms.
Yes, Master.
Today you are the king, tomorrow you're nobody. All this ephemeral, empty names. How come people don't learn from history or from the surrounding other examples?
Yes.
Arrogance and self-aggrandizement never serve anyone. Least of all, the leaders. Leaders should be more careful all the time. You are tough when you have to be, to handle some challenging situations. But you have to have humility in order to win people's hearts.
Understand.
If you win only half of France and the other half still against you anyway, it's already a precarious kind of ambience.
Yes.
So you should always be more humble and more realistic, more practical.
Yes, Master. I have another question, Master. Senator Rand Paul of the U.S. Senate opposed the $40 billion U.S. aid package to Ukraine. Why would he do that, Master?
You think he should or not?
He should not oppose because Ukraine needs that aid.
Yeah, of course, Ukraine needs it.
Yes.
The whole world chips in to help.
Yes, Master.
And if the U.S. can afford it, then they should have more than others. He should be proud that his country is so just and generous.
Yes, Master.
But of course, I understand him as well.
Yes.
He's the only one that opposed anyway.
Yes, yes.
The House passed it anyway.
Yes, it did.
He just stalled it for a while, maybe
Yes.
just to make it a little bit less enthusiastic, but still passed.
Yes, Master.
But I understand him. You see, at the moment, every country, and America also included, economy, is very shaky.
Yes.
Yeah, because of the pandemic, because of other wars, because of all kinds of situations.
Yes, Master.
And bad spending, bad organizing for financial upkeep and all kinds of things.
Yes.
And it's a lot of money.
Yes, it is a lot.
Oh, my God. If we didn't have Russia go in and brutally attack without cause, unprovoked, the Ukrainian people, then this money we could use a lot for Americans, for your people to live better.
Yes, Master.
Yeah, better school or giving more loans for the students.
Yes.
So they can study well and then they contribute later to your country. Help more with health care, with pregnant women, single mothers, elderly without care, and or even help some refugees, deserving refugees from nearby countries. Some don't deserve because maybe they're gangsters or something like that. They mix in to come into Mesoamerica and selling children drugs and selling anything that is not good for humanity.
Yes, Master.
So this $40 billion, wow, I could not imagine that kind of money. That's just a lot of money, yeah, and Americans need it also.
Yes, Master.
America is the top economy in the world even, but many Americans are also living at the border of poverty, not below.
Yes, that's right.
Millions of Americans struggling to keep the lights on, a roof over their heads. Since the pandemic started, it's only gotten worse.
Americans have been racking up utility debt during the pandemic. They now owe companies close to $20 billion, up 67% from the average year. A study in Massachusetts found 30% more families are now at least 90 days behind on their bill. Now, energy bills are skyrocketing due to inflation and supply problems.
Geraldine tells us she lives on $1,700 a month in Social Security. She says she pays $600 in rent and at least $300 a month pays for needed kidney and blood pressure medications. The rest of her bills, like home utilities, car fuel, and groceries, she finds depressing.
How hard is it living on a fixed income?
It is hard. And I feel so sorry for my friends that just don't have this kind of money as much as I do, because they're much worse off than me.
In 4 months, Katya's rent for this 300-square-foot apartment is going to jump from $670 a month to just over $1,000. She says her paycheck won't cover it.
I would consider living in my car. Yes, I would.
Home prices have skyrocketed in the last year. Apartments Katya can afford are so far away that paying to gas up her car would then be too much.
I would imagine that battling this at this stage in your life is...
It's really hard. It's really hard. It makes me feel useless. Like, I'm not doing enough.
All this, I think they should make Russia pay back. If the war is over, or somehow make them pay.
Yes.
Make Putin pay because he's very rich. People suspect that he's the richest man in the world.
Yes, I think so. I think that's what they said.
Of course, whatever he wants, he has.
Yes.
All these oligarchs surrounding him, and they don't dare to breathe even anything negative. Contrary to his idea. So I'm also recently learning more about Putin. Normally, I didn't pay attention to any leader until something happened to them or something they did that caught my attention that I feel I need to say something.
I understand.
Otherwise, I don't pay attention to anyone. You know that.
Yes, Master.
I didn't even know where Ukraine is. I have never been there.
Yes, Master.
I heard something when they had some problem before, but it was a strange country to me. Only recently, too many children, women, and elderly, and people suffer so much for no reason. That's why the whole world is so supportive of Ukraine. They feel so sorry and sympathetic to these poor, gentle, harmless people.
Yes, Master.
Maybe the country is not the richest in the world. Maybe they are classified as one of the poorest countries in Europe. But they were happy people.
Yes.
Because they're not greedy. They are contented with what they have.
Yes, Master.
And they planted food for the whole world to use. Their merit is very big.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, farming people, they naturally have big merit because they do something that's nutritious for the children of God.
Yes, Master.
They raise up the children of God. They feed them. That's one of the best jobs you can have. Farmer.
Yes, Master.
They all look healthy and good to me until Putin came along and raised their farms, raised their houses, and killed their children.
Yes, Master.
And their wives. and their parents, for example. Those who are weak, helpless and vulnerable.
Yes, Master.
No defense, cannot defend. So how can anybody support that? Just say if Ukrainians give some land to Putin to satisfy his greed for now, he will not stop.
No, he won't.
Yeah, it is already obvious. And now they're doing a fake election there, a referendum just to coerce people to vote for Russia.
Yes, Master.
But everybody will know it's fake. Doesn't Putin have any shame, any honor?
I guess not.
Oh, yeah, how can a devil have any?
Yes, Master.
They are in the war just to harm humanity, to hurt, to maim, to corrupt, to destroy our planet. That's their job.
Yes, Master.
They are born to do that. Oh, my God. So you can't even blame Senator Rand Paul.
Yes, understand.
It hurts him. It hurts him because some of his people are still poor
Yes, Master.
and short of baby formula at the moment.
Yes.
And many people are poor, and in America it's chaotic still, yeah?
Yes, Master.
All kinds of problems, and his people should come first.
Understand.
Abbott Laboratories stopped manufacturing in February amid recalls and contamination fears. That shutdown has been adding to a shortage already strained by supply chain issues. In some states like Iowa, Tennessee, Texas, Missouri, and the Dakotas, more than half of the entire supply of baby formula is sold out. Many national chains limiting purchases now.
There's so much going on right now that worrying about feeding your baby should be the absolute last thing you are concerned about.
We want to help Ukraine, obviously, but it goes out the door so fast. Like everything gets done for Ukraine like this, like that, billions out the door like this. And meanwhile, Americans are looking around like, hey, Congress, what about us? Do you feel that?
Hey, I totally get it. Here's the problem with Ukraine. They run out of money in terms of buying weapons, I think, at the middle of May.
We should have gotten that weaponry out to them a year ago when we saw the buildup coming.
Boy, amen. Common sense tells you that Putin's not going to stop in Ukraine. Common sense tells you he was going to invade. Our problems here don't get better by allowing Putin to win in Ukraine because he won't stop.
Yeah, but can't we do both, Senator?
We actually can stop.
Can't we do fast track for America?
Totally.
Everything's fast track for overseas, but can we fast track it here?
The homeless crisis in America is worsening again. The COVID pandemic caused a surge in housing costs and a rise in unemployment, leaving nearly 600,000 Americans unhoused in 2020.
Right now, we are trending in the wrong direction.
In Vietnam, we say cửa trong nhà mới ra bề ngoài, meaning you first take care of your family. And whatever's left, you can donate. You can help outsiders. Of course, otherwise, how can you starve your family and take the money out to help others?
Yes, Master.
There's no logic, is there? So, of course, as a senator for his country, he feels hurt.
Yes, that's right.
If his people are set aside, like second best or something. If Ukraine was just peaceful, doing their own business, rich or poor, they never complain. They wouldn't ask anything from anybody. Because they're self-content. They're contented with their job, their work, their country. It's a beautiful country. Even if we can afford to give $40 billion, say, from America to Ukraine, it would have been better used for their children. Build schools, repair the roads and infrastructure for them to have a more comfortable life.
Yes, Master.
Instead of spending on weapons because of war.
Yes, Master.
So this is really, really such a great waste. So being a senator, it's not like he doesn't want to help Ukraine. He just feels pain. I would.
Yes.
Feeling the money is for wasting and for destruction of war instead of making the country better.
Yes. And he's worried about it being spent wisely.
Yeah, or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I'm a little concerned also that all the countries are spending so much on military, even in the future, because of their worries. So now all of that money will not be able to go to their own people.
Yeah, I know that. All this is because of Russia's greed and brutality.
Yes.
And this is terrible. Putin is terrible. Putin and his advisors, his gangs, whatever, they only for their own selfish interest, personal gain.
Yes, Master.
No one would do this for any explainable reason. Nothing. So I don't understand why French President Macron would even side with Putin. And you know what? A French satellite I saw is still broadcasting Russian propaganda.
Oh.
Even now, I saw it on the news today. I saw just a headline like that, and that's enough. There's no need for further looking.
Yes, Master.
I don't have time to look at all the news.
Yes.
And most of the headlines are already very clear.
Yes.
France is big and intelligent and a great country. I'm really surprised. I'm taken aback.
Yes, Master.
I thought the European Union, they cooperate with each other. That's why they call union.
Yes.
Together. Union means together, right?
Yes.
But there are a couple of them who are not so unions. And, okay, fine, maybe because they just against something like don't ban Russian gas and oil because maybe they need. All of a sudden, they could not change so fast. That may be understandable. But to outright side with Putin and even broadcast his propaganda, this is too much.
Yes, Master.
It's too backward, too uncivilized. It's really out of my comprehension.
Yes, Master. Understand.
Out of my understanding. It's terrible, terrible. I never expected France to do this. And this will have a bad reputation for France. I just read it somewhere, some country people came out and protested against France even.
Oh.
They went out and protested against France. Not in France, somewhere else. In Chad, they staged an anti-French protest. And elsewhere, I saw it before, I forgot. And this will pave the way for Putin to continue to do something bad in Africa and then frame it on France. They did it before.
Yes.
It's a very bad policy that Macron is proposing.
Yes, Master.
It's so outright by us siding with the bully against the weaker one and innocent one.
Yes, Master.
I don't think people will like it. I don't think the world will agree with him or respect him for that.
Yes, Master. Understand.
Just because he won the election, that doesn't mean much. If he doesn't show a good character, true leadership, then people will lose faith in him and lose respect for him. That's for sure.
Yes.
As the nature of humans. The Ukraine was just left exposed like that, vulnerable like that. Of course, the bullies, they look for the meek and the weak, defenseless one. But this time, Putin had a big surprise because the Ukrainian people, they stood together.
Yes, that's right.
They fight to the end. That's what I said. Oh, these are incredible people, and Putin is so terrible. War is terrible. War is terrible. But this war is truly, truly beyond horror, beyond brutality, beyond evil.
In a rare, even historic move, Amnesty International denounced Russia's unlawful use of force as a violation of the United Nations Charter and an act of aggression, a crime under international law. This is a move we very rarely make. The evidence we have gathered since the Russian invasion of Ukraine began in late February 2022. It implicates Russian military forces in serious violations of international law, including extrajudicial killings, disproportionate, indiscriminate attacks against civilians, including in densely populated areas, deployment of cluster munition that being so indiscriminate are banned under international law, abuses against civilians living under siege, and failure to protect and secure humanitarian corridors. A repeated pattern, large in scale and devastating in impact.
On the very first day when they captured me, they cut the fingers on my hands, and I had open wounds. So very soon these wounds started rotting, and eventually I had to have these fingers amputated.
please help people. The thing is, humans also create too much karma, and it's bound to break out somewhere. Like maybe you have a problem with your liver, but it will break out onto your face or your skin or other places.
Yes, Master.
The same. In the world, we have collective karma together. So it just breaks out in Ukraine like that. And the guilty one is still not yet punished. The world is like a big body. So whatever the problem is, it doesn't always show where it is. It shows somewhere else.
Yes, Master. Thank you for the answers.
Okay, no problem. I wish I could give you all the answers in the world. But it doesn't matter how I answer. Humans must answer to themselves about their own behavior and their own moral obligation as world citizens and their own duty to protect this planet and their neighbors, including the animal people.
Yes, Master.
It's not I alone that can do everything. They have to change. They have to use their willpower and free will to do good.
Yes, Master.
To check up on themselves, clean up our society, and be good neighbors. I don't know when this world will turn into a paradise, even though we could have done it.
Yes.
Yesterday already. It's so easy. Everybody lives, everybody alone, do their own business, help someone whenever they need, that's all. And no more killing animal people or men. Then we are a paradise. We have everything we need and more.
Most precious Master, our hearts are touched by your great patience and continuous dedication to bringing Eden on earth for all beings to enjoy harmony and dignity. Our prayers go to all those suffering due to the unjust treatment by government leaders who are driven by the negative force. We also pray for the establishment of a lasting peace in Ukraine and the world by those in positions of power who have chosen to take a principled stand for righteousness. May divine wisdom help us prevent further wartime atrocities from occurring as we also adopt a sustainable, total vegan lifestyle, proving our status as a noble species on the planet. We wish Benevolent Master to be always well and mightily protected by all gracious goddesses. To hear more of Supreme Master Ching Hai's invaluable thoughts on the situation of our world, as well as endearing stories about her dogs, please tune in to Between Master and Disciples at a later date for the full broadcast of this phone call. Also, for your reference, please check out the previous related Fly-In News or Between Master and Disciples conferences, such as Fly-In News, Treasure Others' Lives by Making Peace, Only Peacemakers Can Go to Heaven, Putin Must Call for Immediate Ceasefire in Ukraine, To believe in humanity and goodness is to help each other. There are no excuses for invading a country. Positive changes in the world in support of Ukraine. Representatives of the positive power are beneficial to humankind. Between Master and Disciples, governments worldwide must stand with Ukraine. Powerful countries must be courageous and help Ukraine. Heaven is aiding Ukraine in the war between good and evil. Supreme Master Ching Hai's thoughts on the urgent situation in Ukraine. The world left Ukraine to fight alone, inspiring good news in support of Ukraine. Big powers did not keep their promise to Ukraine. The united spirit of the Ukrainian people shines before the world. Ukraine's noble willpower is stronger than Russia's force.